Hello and welcome everyone. Thanks for coming for my confirmation. My name is Rohit and I'm from India. I'm currently doing PhD in the Exertion Games Lab under the guidance of Floyd and Larissa. So in my PhD, I'm particularly interested in how material artifacts can influence the physical activity experience. And that's what I'm going to speak in today's confirmation. So let me begin. So Sennett in his book Craftsman has referred to humans as a homo faber, which means the manufacturer and the collector of material artifacts. And he also refers to humans as who imbues sentiments in the external artifacts. We all like to collect material artifacts for a variety of different reasons, maybe as a reminder of certain activity which happened in the past, or as a testimony to a certain event that happened. This human fascination towards material culture has been studied a lot in the social sciences as well as in the human computer science. There hasn't been any justified reason why people particularly prefer a physical medium, but as you can all know, even though we can view images on the virtual screen, we still print them and then hang up in the wall. So let us just understand where materiality is particularly being used. The very first use of materiality is in terms of creating an autotopography. Autotopography is a term coined by Gonzalez, which refers to the physical arrangement of objects in the surrounding to externally denote the person's identity. So Miller also argues that a person likes to surround themselves with objects which are an external expression of their self or their identity or their lifestyle or their personality. From the choice of the color to the arrangement, we take a keen interest into building or creating our world the way we want or the way we would like to present ourselves to the external world. The second use for the materiality is in terms of rewards, because material artifacts are particularly advantageous because of two reasons. First of all, they are highly visible in the surrounding, so any object which you keep in the surrounding as a public display becomes an external representation of yourself. So many people try to keep their trophies in the shelf just as to denote like what the achievements they have recently been achieved. Or the other reason also why material artifacts are more important is because of their low replication value. So for example, any virtual object can easily be copied, shared, modified and updated. Compared to that, a physical object feels more unique. So, and the third common use of material objects is in terms of as a tool for reminiscence and reflection, mainly because of the tendency of physical objects to disappear in the background. So as you can see in the figure, there are various material objects which are there on the display, but unless we glance at a particular object, those objects are as good as invisible to us. Miller commonly referred to this tendency of things as a humility of things. So in that way, it could be a good material artifacts could be a good medium for reflection or reminiscence about the past activities. Vanderhoeven in her PhD thesis had particularly looked at physical objects and which objects are cherished. So she suggests that physical objects which people surround they form a memory landscape, and they can provide opportunities for storytelling about the past. So what things have happened in the past, any shared moment with someone special or any recent trip to some place together. So I have listed three different uses of materiality. One is to build an autotopography and external representation of self as a rewarding structure and as a tool for reminiscence. So I have a small dream. Unless we, in the previously we used to get objects which are manufactured by someone else, but why not create the world with the objects ourselves, which can embody ourselves and our past activities. And in my research, I would like to discover new ways that could help to create those material objects for the users as well as the designers.
Well, very quickly, I know you want to demo that, but it's quite echoey. Can you pause that? Sorry. Just to make sure that you
Okay.
Thanks, just wanted to get to the video. Sorry.
Sorry for the intro. So I guess it was a nice time for the intro. So let us think about how we could do it. So before thinking about what material artifacts we would like to create, let us think over what activities or what data we would like to create or embody in our in the material artifacts. So let me give you 3 pointers. So the first pointer is a physical activity. Like most of us know the benefits of a physical activity. Physical activity is a key to maintain and regain personal health. As a result, many people are now making physical activity as an essential component of their everyday activity. And in order to achieve a certain health objective, they invest a lot of energy and their time. But most of the time, the innocent energy and the effort does not always result into a meaningful outcome, because people are doing it on the health activity and the results of the physical activity are not easily pursuable. So what we could do in relation to that? So thankfully today we have devices like heart rate monitor. I have one here, which is a personal informatics tool which collects the personal relevant information like bodily response to exertion in the form of a heart rate, and then communicate this information to the user in real time. These devices are shown to increase the awareness about self amongst users, and in certain cases it has also increased physical activity among people. And thirdly, the recent advancement in digital fabrication has now made possible that you could able to fabricate. You don't have to wait for a manufacturer in China to build an object that you like, but you could build an object yourself at your home. So Gershenfeld has recently commented that soon the 3D printers, the one as you can see here, will be in everybody's home, and we will be using it to create, modify, build objects that we like. So, so those 3 pointers are a physical activity is something we all like and cherish. Secondly, we have a tool which can measure our energy and efforts which are being invested in a physical activity. And third, we have a device which could now create us a material object. So if we combine them together, can we build the physical objects out of it that could embody ourselves and our past activities? So that's a new perspective I would like to put forward. So as commonly in the Exertion Games Lab, we like to show rather than telling. So let me show you a quick demo. So I have created a system which is called the Sweat Atoms, which lets you print material artifacts that represent, whose design represent your heartbeat during a physical activity. So what you have to do is, you have to, when you are doing a physical activity, you have to wear this heart rate monitor around your chest and continue your physical activity as you normally do. This heart rate monitor then communicates to a program which is installed on your mobile or a computer, and that program then builds a 3D model. That 3D model then gets submitted to the 3D printer, and the object, as you can see, it was going to be printed. And once this has been printed, you will get objects like these, as you can see some objects here. So my argument is that these objects could engage users in a different way with the physical activity, and in result could affect his or her relationship with the physical activity. So if you want to have a look at the objects. So let me go back to the chief question that I'm trying to explore in my thesis. That is, how does the design of a material artifact influence or shape the relationship of a user with the physical activity? This could involve the investigation in the design space of physical activity, material artifacts, and personal informatics tools to identify the interrelationship between physical activity and its representation in the form of material artifacts, and how design could influence the two. However, there is a big problem in representation, as Van der Moor, one of the leading information visualization evangelists, suggests that any physical activity data, such as a heart rate, does not have any natural counterpart that can be graphically reproduced. So it demands, or it put forwards the responsibility of a designer to create appropriate visual mappings and metaphors so that the end user can understand the data in a understandable or meaningful way. So in the past, people have particularly looked at virtual representations. So here I have put forward a screenshot of a Fitbit, which I am wearing over here, which is an activity tracker, which tracks your activity, such as the number of steps you have taken, calories you have burned throughout the day, and present an infographic on your screen, which can help you to be more aware of your physical activity levels. It also involves some leaderboard structures where you could compare your performance with others. In the past, there have also been some virtual metaphors which are being used, like a fish. So there is a virtual fish on the screen whose length or growth depends upon your physical activity. So the more physical activity you do, the fish becomes more stronger, and the less physical activity you do, the fish becomes sad or depressed. But as I'll quote Van der Moor again, he says that anything which is projected on the screen, as you can see over here, demands a visual attention. So it's like it grabs attention. So it is much more suitable for as a productivity tool or as a reminder tool. And as a result, most of the virtual mediums are also most of the applications which are targeted, which have targeted virtual representation, have looked at efficiency and performance goal, or to prompt user for the next achievable health goal. But I would like to advocate a new medium to represent physical activity, that is in the form of a material representation. Why material representation? I have earlier in the presentation have illustrated few of the advantages or few of the properties of material artifacts which could be helpful. First of all, their humidity of things, their tendency to disappear in the surrounding could very well be useful as an expression or reflection. Then the application process could allow creativity, and again, as Van der Moor quotes, the physical modality, any physical objects also benefits from the three-dimensional physical modality. So it's not like you can just view it on the screen, you can touch the objects, feel the objects. So it could lead to much more meaning than just the